Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Uh, okay, I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, sure.
So today we will discuss the important concept, that is a block cipher principle, which will lead to one structure. Based on that, the data encryption standard algorithm is uh, the developed. Okay, whatever the structure we are going to see today, so that structure is used in a DES algorithm. So, but before that, I told that I did a mistake in a Playfair technique. Yes or no? Yeah. So the mistake was, please listen carefully. Uh, if I want to, if I take the, suppose this is the pair, okay, W and G. So I have taken as the column wise and the row wise. So this is the first. So if it is a WG, so we have written A and Y, correct? This is the diagonal. So we have taken like this. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
But that is a wrong mean in that algorithm. So we should not take like that. So how to take is, see, each plain letter in a pair is replaced by the letter that lies in its own row. But I have taken opposite. I have taken the column wise. So we have to replace the letter that lies in its own row and the column occupied by the other plain text letter. How? If I take again W and G, so this is the first letter. I have to take the letter which is in its own row, which is Y. So we have to take Y first, then the other letter, who is the other letter? G. So G is taking this column. So it is YA, not AY. Please see carefully. So is this clear to all of you? Simple is I have taken opposite. So if you correct it, so it will be okay. Yes, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
We'll take one more example to get more clarity. Suppose SE is there. Suppose this SE. So this is the S, this is the E. So first letter is S. So we have to take the letter in its own row first. So SC will leads to D and the column by the next letter. So which is L. So it will be DL, not LD. So yes, if you're having any question, please ask. If it is clear, okay then. Yes. Respond in the chat box so that we will move to the today's concept. Clear, all of you listening?
Yes, sir.
Clear,
Yes,
right?
sir. It's clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So now we will move to this today's topic is the block cipher principle. So far we have seen the simple no, cipher techniques, actually the Playfair or Veronum or Vigenère, Caesar cipher. Now the block cipher principle. So this is what are the network security applications is based on block cipher principles only. So in that regard, we'll see first the stream cipher and block ciphers. What are the concept and what are the advantages or disadvantages? Then we will move to the motivation for the Feasel block cipher structure or Feasel structure. So remember, DES algorithm is based on this Feasel structure. So what are the we can say the problems or drawbacks in a block cipher? Simple, I can say ideal block cipher techniques. Then how to remove or how to avoid those problems or drawbacks in this structure. And finally, we will discuss the Feasel cipher structure. So let's move to. So what is a stream ciphers? We have seen actually. So one that encrypts a digital data stream, either 1 bit or 1 byte at a time. This is, we have seen there is a Venom cipher, yes or no? So bit by bit, or we can say byte by byte. How? See. So suppose there is a number of bits in a plain text is suppose Pi, and which will go to the encryption algorithm with a key bits K, which will produce the cipher bits. Right? Now, if I want to get the original plain text, so this will be given to decryption algorithm with the same keys available, then we will get a plain text bits. Now, so what is the problem or what is the advantages of this one is, if key bits are random, then it is very, very impossible to detect the plain text who don't know the key exactly. So if the key bits are random, it's very difficult to attack, I can say, or to detect or decrypt the message. Clear? But generally the random, so they should not be like that, because whenever the receiver and is there, so he should able to generate the same key, or we have to send the key in a secured channel, which may not be we can say, which will be difficult, because based on the traffic analysis, so it is very difficult to send the key in a secure channel. So that is one drawback, because so that is not exactly possible. So is it clear? So what is the advantage? So if the key bits are random, so very difficult to decrypt or attack this type of encryption techniques. But the difficulty is, so we have to send the key, same key to the, or we have to give the same key to the sender and receiver. So it is very difficult to send in a secure channel based on the traffic. Okay, clear so far? Drawback and I can say advantage.
Yes, sir.
Now when we move to the streams, block cipher. So very simply, so the encryption is done on the block of plain text. So if I am taking the length of 8 bits, so 8-bit cipher block will be generated. But generally, the block size will be like a 64 or 128 bits will be used. So what happens when we use the less number of bits? That we will see first, then we will move on to the next concept. So generally, a block cipher operates on a plain text block of n bits to produce a ciphertext of or a ciphertext block of n bits. Right? Now we will see, if suppose n is equal to 2. So plain text, how many possible combinations we will get generally? For n is equal to 2, how many possible combinations we will get?
4.
So we will get 4 plain text blocks. So it may be 0, 0, it may be 0, 1, it may be 1, 0, it may be 1, 1. Now we have to get a ciphertext for these blocks. So what can be the transformations we will get? Yes, anyone? What are the possible transformation, or what are the possible codes? Tell me. How many possible at least, or combinations? See, output also 2 bits, no? Following? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, 4, right? For 0, 0, I may get 1, 1. So that is the one ciphertext we are providing. For 0, 1, I may generate 1, 0. For 1, 0, we will have 0, 0. For 1, 1, we may have 0, 1. Now see carefully. For each plain text block, there is a unique block in the ciphertext. Because for 0, 0, I'm not having 1, 0. For 0, 0, I'm not having 0, 1. So this type of mapping is called reversible mapping, where the blocks will have a unique transformation or unique mapping. The reason is, if I am taking the ciphertext as 0, 1, what will be the plain text? Tell me. The plain text is, yeah, what is the plain text for 0, 1 is the ciphertext?
1, 1.
1, 1. So reversible in the sense, for ciphertext 0, 1, I should able to generate a plain text, which is a unique one. So this type of mapping is called reversible, means decryption is possible. Right? Now, what about the irreversible mapping? There may be non-uniform mapping like this. For 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. For 0, 0, suppose 1, 1. 1, 0 is this. For these two combinations, suppose this is the thing. So this is the plain text and this is the ciphertext. So when we compare this, so for 0, 1, there may be a 1, 0 possible. For 0, 1, there is a 1, 1 possible. So it is somewhat difficult to decrypt, right? So that is an irreversible mapping. So generally we use the reversible mapping. Okay. Is it clear for what is the reversible mapping and irreversible mapping?
Yes, sir.
Now we will try to see how many possible keys for n is equal to 2 if the block of data is 2. So we have seen 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 is the plain text, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. This is one combination I can say, right? If I'm taking for 0, 0, I should not take for anything. Next, can I go like this? 0, 0, I can take 1, 1, but 0, 1, I'm taking as 0, 0, 1, 0, I'm taking as 1, 0. Sorry, not correct. 1, 0. Yeah, no problem. We can take 1, 1, I'm taking as, what is the remaining? 0, 1. Okay. Is this possible? Please tell me, is this possible? This we can say it's a K1 is the one transformation. I am calling it as a key K1. This I am calling it as a K2. Please tell me, is it clear? Is this possible or not? First, respond. Yes, students.
No, sir.
No, not clear.
I think it's not possible, sir.
Which one?
K2, K2.
K2 is not possible.
I think so because.
No. See, just see like this. Suppose I'm having a plain text as 0, 1. So how many possible combinations we'll get in the ciphertext? It may be 0, 0, it may be 0, 1, it may be 1, 0, it may be 1, 1 in a ciphertext. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We cannot fix this 0, 1, only 1, 0. No. If it is like that, it is very easy to decrypt, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that's why we are making all possible combinations. So this is one combination, I'm calling it as a K1. This is another combination, I'm calling it as a K2. Then one more combination I can make. So 0, 0, we can make 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. Yes, is this possible? Yes. So for 0, 0, I can take 1, 1. For 0, 1, I can take 1, 0. 1, 0, I can take 0, 1. 1, 1, I can take 0, 0. No problem. So this is one more possibility, K3. And so on. For n is equal to 2, we'll get 24 possible transformation. Right? Like this. Yes? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now I will make generalized expressions so that you can easily remember. For n block of data, there will be 2 power n factorial transformations. Right? So if n is equal to 2, how many transformations possible? 2 power 2 factorial means 4 factorial means
24.
4. So we can say 24 possible keys, right? So based on the key, we can have different transformations. Now, if I make n is equal to 4, then how many possible transformations? 2 power 4 factorial, right? Like 16 factorial. Similarly, if I make, suppose 64 is a block of data at 64 bits, then it will become 2 power 64 possible combinations. So approximately it will be 10 to the power 20. Now, are you getting a point here? As the number of bits in a block are increasing, the keys are increasing drastically, which will be very difficult to analyze. The statics are increasing, right? Getting the point? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But the one advantage we will get here is it's very difficult to decrypt, or for the crypt analysis, that means anyone who want to attack or who want to decrypt the message or who want to discover the key, it's very difficult as the number of bits are increasing. But for the encryption also, there may be the statistical analysis will be very difficult. So security is enhancing, but the analysis also getting the complex, right? So one advantage, one disadvantage. Yes or no? If the number of bits are less, very easy to know. If I know the analysis, statistical analysis, so we can statistical analysis, we can discover the key. Because as the number of bits are less, possible number of keys are small. But so to overcome this disadvantage, the Feezer structure, he proposes something. So we need to realizable the statistics or statistic analysis. We have to, it should be easy. So we should able to analyze the keys, number of keys, etc. to encrypt as well as the decrypt in the sender side and receiver side. If I'm having the same key at the sender and receiver, I should be able to decrypt the message easily, right? And there should be a relationship between this ciphertext and the plain text, and that relationship should be easily realizable. So that is the motivation to go to the Feasel structure. Clear, all of you? All the points are clear. So what is
Yes,
the
sir.
block cipher? If the number of simple block cipher technique is there, so for n is equal to 2, we can easily encrypt the message by going for the all possible combinations. But it's very easy to decrypt the message by other person. So for that, we will try to increase the number of bits. So the number of bits are increasing, transformations are increasing, like a keys are increasing. So it's very difficult to realize. So for that, the Feasel proposed something. So we can easily realizable the relationship between plain text bits and the ciphertext bits. Clear, all of you? Any questions so far? Clear? Yes? Respond, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the start technique? So we will try to use the ideal block cipher only, but the concept here is a product cipher. So what is that product cipher means? It's very simple. We will take two blocks or multiple blocks and we will process in a sequence. So we will consider two or more blocks in a sequence to generate a output or a final product, which will be very difficult to decrypt, or we can say strong cryptography, right? So here the technique is something like this. So two or more blocks processed in a sequence to generate a final result, or we can say product also, which is strong, which is a strong in cryptography. That means not easily breakable, right? So remember, in the Feasel cipher technique, so it is not a single process or single step. It is a sequence of the processing. So to generate a final product or final result, which is a strong in cryptography, means it is not easily detectable. So we cannot discover easily the key. Who knows the key? They can decrypt the message. As we are going for multiple sequences, multiple times we will do some encryptions. So it's very obviously it will be very difficult to decrypt it. Correct or wrong? Yes. So clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now we'll see something like this. Now suppose a key length of, suppose key is the k bits, okay, and the plain text bits are n. So or we can say block in a plain text is n bits, allowing a total of only 2 power k possible transformations. Previously it was 2 power k factorial, very large, not easily realizable. But 2 power k possible transformations, yes, we can easily realize. Yes, clear? So block of length is n bits. So key length k bits, and the total possible transformations will be only 2 power k instead of 2 power k factorial. Yes, clear? So that is the approach in the Feasel cipher technique. Now we'll try to see what are the some proposed uses, or what are the functionalities we are going to use in this Feasel cipher technique. So it is based on the we will perform substitution as well as the permutation in this technique. Now tell me, what is the meaning of substitution? Yes? Anyone? Please tell me, what is the meaning of substitution?
Replacing.
Yes, it is a replacing the bits. How? Based on some process or technique, but remember, it should be unique. So the replacing must be unique, right? So number of bits in a plain text will be replaced by some bits. So replacing in the unique means the decryption will be easy if I know the key, and it's very difficult to decrypt who don't know the key. Now what is the meaning of permutation?
Selecting and arranging.
So apart from doing the substitution, we will take or we will replace the sequences by some combination. Not only replacing, suppose I will take some example. Suppose it is generally will go for 64 bits. Okay, this is some sequence 64 bits. Generally we will take left side half, right side half. So we will do the substitutions and we will take the combinations different. So for this I may take different combination. For this I may take the different combinations. So that is called the permutation. So we have to perform these two. Just to remember, the permutation in the sense that we are for the same sequence we are taking the combinations. So that also will be clear when I explain the structure. So what is the substitution? Just to note it down if you're having. Yeah. We can say 1 second. I will write down the correct words. Yeah. So here write down like this. Each element or group of elements is uniquely replaced by a corresponding ciphertext. So each element in plain text, okay, or a group of elements in plain text is uniquely replaced by a corresponding ciphertext element or group of elements. Okay, so we need to replace uniquely. each element in the plain text or group of elements in the plain text by corresponding ciphertext element or group of elements. That is a substitution. Now, what is the permutation means? Very simple. A sequence of plain text is replaced by a permutation of that sequence only, of that sequence. Is this point is clear? What is this meaning is? See, I will give some example. Suppose I'm taking 8 bits, okay? Suppose this is one sequence. So how many possible combinations, the permutations possible here? All zeros. This is one permutation, right? For 8 bits. All ones, one permutation. And so on, we will have 2 power 8 combinations or a 2 power 8 sequence. So this sequence will be replaced by one of these permutation. Is this clear? Respond.
Yes, sir.
So here we are replacing the entire sequence by its permutation only. So that is the one we can say functionality of the Feasel structure or cipher. So not only substitution, we have to perform the permutation also. So now we are providing the security, more secure, right? So that is about this. Apart from these two, there are 2 more functions which is developed by Shannon. One is called confusion and diffusion functions. So in a diffusion, see, I'm having a plain text, I'm having a ciphertext. If we make the relationship between these two very complex, then we can prevent attacks, or we can prevent who is trying to discover the key. So that means we are giving more secure to the information. Yes, clear? So diffusion means it's a relationship between plain text and ciphertext. Now, how can we make confuse the opponent who is trying to attempting the trying to attack? So if we make the statistical relationship between ciphertext and the value of key as complex as possible, then we can prevent who is trying to attempt to discover the key. Got the point here? So all these functionalities will be there in the data encryption standard, which is based on the Feasel structure. So that Feasel structure is based on these functionalities: substitution, permutation, diffusion, confusion. All of you followed? Is it clear? If you're hanging it out, please ask. So how can we achieve means? So we have to perform repeatedly these permutations or substitutions. Should I write the point here, or will you remember what is the meaning of diffusion? Just remember relation between statistical relationship between plain text and ciphertext need to be as complex as possible. How can we do that? By repeatedly doing the permutations on that data. Getting my point? Please respond. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Clear, right? Please, if you're hanging, if you're not followed or not clear, please ask. No question? Okay, in that case, it's okay. So, relationship, okay, for your future reference also, I'm writing here. So here, making the statistical relationship between plain text blocks of data and ciphertext as complex as possible, so that we can prevent attempts to discover the key. Now, how is this possible? Means it is possible so this can be achieved by repeatedly performing same permutations. Okay. So same permutation. So what is the permutation function, etc. We'll try to see later. Here the confusion is so here the confusion now. This is over. So making statistical or statistics of ciphertext and value of key. One second. Okay. Relationship between statistics of ciphertext and the value of key as complex as possible, so that we can prevent attempts to discover key. So we have to make making relationship between statistics of ciphertext and the value of k as complex as possible. So clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's it. Now we'll see how is this possible actually. Yeah. So that is the Feasel cipher structure. So what are the steps? Please see carefully. So the first point, generally, as I told, the plain text block size will be 64 bits. Okay. If it is advanced, we can go for 128 bits also. Now, what is the first step here will be this plain text will be divided into two halves. So plain text will be divided into two halves. So left side one and right side. So we can have the left side and the right side. Okay. So how many bits we generally, it's a 64 bits. So here we can have 32 bits. And here we can have 32 bits. Now we will do the substitution and permutation also. How? See, how can we do the substitution? It will be based on some function. We will say it's a round function. Means we have seen it will be repeated, right? Same permutations will be repeated. So repeated in the sense how many times it will be repeated. So that is called a round. So that will be called as a round function f. For the round function f, one input is right side bit, right side half, and one input is the key K1. So this is called a sub key. And here we can say actual key size will be K, and it will be 64 actually. Okay, but from that K1 will be generated, which is a sub key. It may be 56 bits, it may be 48 bits. We will see that one in the data encryption standard. So generally take it as a 56 bits. Okay. Now this round function is it may take some permutation or something, and it will perform any logical function between these two inputs, and it will generate some output. Now for that output, and the left side half, we will perform XOR operation. We will perform XOR operation. Clear up to now? So divided into two halves, block size is 64, key size, actual key size is 64. From that we can generate sub key K1 using key algorithm, that also we'll see later. So sub key will be number of bits will be lesser than the actual key, and we have to perform some round function. So this will be the substitution. Now what is the permutation? This output will be transferred to the right side for the next process or next step, and this right bits will be transferred as it is in the left side. So if I say this is L0, R0, so this will be L1 and R1. So far it's clear. One second. Yes. Please tell me, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is called round 1. So what we have said here, confusion or diffusion, we have to perform repeatedly, either same permutation or same substitution. So sorry, we will perform the same operations, again same R1, then one more key K1 and a XOR operation, and next it will go, R1 will go to directly L2 and so on. So in that way we can enhance the security to the data. Now we'll see the design features in the Feasel cipher structure. Now please ask if you're having any question so far. Later we'll see examples also. I mean, the structure is, I think, simple. We can easily divide it. But how to generate K1 and what is the functionality of this round? If I know that, it's very simple to get the ciphertext at the end. So now we'll see the design features. Clear, right? Please. Am I going fast? Please respond quickly.
It's clear, sir.
Clear, right?
Sir.
So what are the design features of this Feasel cipher structure will be? First one is the block size. So as I told that it will be 64 bits. Now remember, block size must be as large as possible so that more security possible, but it can decrease the speed of decryption and encryption, correct? As the number of bits are increasing, the number of rounds will be more, the processing will be, process will take some time, so that the speed will decrease, correct? So remember that block size should be as large as possible, but it may decrease the speed of encryption and decryption. What about the key size? It is also must be as large as possible. Then only we can provide security, more security. But again, it may decrease the speed. So the actual key size will be 64. Sub key size will be like a 56 or 40. That we'll see. Next, the number of rounds. So typically the number of rounds will be 16. It will be fixed in the Feasel cipher structure. Clear? The number of rounds. Now, next, the sub-key generation algorithm, it must be complex so that we can provide the enhancement in the security. So the generation algorithm must be as complex as possible so that more security we can prevent the attempts to discover the keys. Then what is the round function? So round function also must be complex. So so that no one can detect it. Sorry. And these two must be there always. So fastness in the encryption or decryption, and even though we are telling that the encryption techniques or functions or algorithm techniques as complex as possible, but we have to be analyzed easily. Then only we will able to detect it, or we can able to identify the attacks possible and so on. Yes. So is this clear to all of you? These are design features.
Yes, sir.
Are you having any lecture? Next lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So only 1 minute I will take. As a briefly, I can say this is a plain text, the 64 bits. Now, so here we will generate a sub-key K1, and this will be called as a round 1. So there may be a round function, and there may be a permutation and substitution, etc. And it will go to the next stage. We will call it as a round 2. So for K2 and so on. So total 60 rounds will be there. So round 16. After this, the ciphertext will come out as a 64 bits. So this is the briefly the Feasel structure. So inside this structure will be there. Okay. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it. So we have studied the Feasel structure and what is the motivation to get the for this Feasel structure, and we have seen advantages in a block cipher and drawback, then how to overcome the drawback in Feasel structure, etc. I hope all the points are clear. Try to revise. We'll discuss some more, or we will try to start data encryption standard in the next lecture. Okay then, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.